Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil.
Grabe, this is how Shangri-la looks today. It's a holiday, walang tao. I'm trying to look for bakehouse. It says it's here, but I can't find it. Still go around and ask security na. Oh, this is where national transferred. It's at the back already. Yay, finally here. Where's the bakehouse?
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de The next day.
Hello everyone! Today we're going to bake banana cupcakes. For our ingredients, we will need 2 and 1/3 cup of cake flour. Preferably, you should sift the cake flour first. And then we will need 2 and 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. And then we will need 1 cup of mashed banana, preferably the Cavendish variety. However, since I'm unable to find it in the market, I settled for the Lakatan variety. So 1 cup is approximately around 4 to 5 pieces of your banana, the medium size. And then you will need 1/2 cup of buttermilk. To make a buttermilk, you need to measure 1/2 cup of milk and 1/2 teaspoon of vinegar. Incorporate the vinegar in your milk. So that becomes your buttermilk. And then we will need 1/2 cup of your butter. That's 1/2 of 1 bar of butter. I'm using Baker's Best. And then you will need 1 and 1/4 cup of white sugar. Then we will need 2 eggs, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of chopped walnuts. You may also use cashew nuts. And then I'm adding 1/2 to 3/4 cups of chocolate chips. This is semi-sweet chocolate chips. So to start the procedure, we have to mix all our dry ingredients, starting with our baking powder. This is 2 and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, followed by adding your 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, then your 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. ground cinnamon powder. Right? So we'll whisk all the dry ingredients together to make sure that we combine all ingredients. And also, when we're baking, we don't want to taste the bitterness of the baking soda. So if you miss whisking your dry ingredients, sometimes if you put it in, there's a tendency for it to clump together. So this is one way of avoiding uh, eating the baking soda. Your baking soda is actually bitter. The next procedure is to incorporate all our wet ingredients, starting with our butter. After the butter, we put in our sugar and our two eggs. We'll put it in later when it's already beating. When we're already beating the butter and the sugar. So we'll start by beating our sugar and butter together. Then we'll be adding our eggs one at a time. Once it's already beaten, we'll pour in our dry ingredients which we have set aside a while ago, alternately with the buttermilk. I'm putting almost one half of our dry ingredients, and then I'll also put one half of our buttermilk. Then let's put the rest of the dry ingredients, followed by again the buttermilk. Let's beat again the mixture. Ideally, so let's beat the mixture at low speed. So let's scrape the sides of the bowl to ensure that our ingredients are well combined. Just scrape the sides. Let's continue beating. Now let's add our banana. So let's not forget our vanilla. This is 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. So parang drop lang siya. So the entire kitchen is now beginning to smell like banana cake. So let's add our chocolate chips and walnuts. So it's time for us to incorporate our walnuts and chocolate chips to our batter. So we'll start with the walnuts, followed by our chocolate chips. Yan. Okay, and then we transfer this into our muffin pans. You should line it first with cupcake liners. This is around 3 ounces.
A few moments later.
Excited na me. Ang bango na ng kitchen. So before we start pouring our butter into the cupcake lining, we will need to preheat our oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la.
So again, this recipe is not for those who are allergic to nuts because we have walnuts as one of our ingredients.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la.
So we're done with our first batch. So let's line our second tray. Well, the temperature of our oven is halfway through 350 degrees already. Our baking time is for 25 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Some would still add walnuts on top or chocolate chip on top. You may do so if you prefer to have more walnuts and chocolate chips in your banana cupcake. Yay. Oh, I'm hoping that it will reach 24 pieces.
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil.
I don't think it's going to reach 24. Baka ano lang. This is 12. Siguro mga 6 of this pa.
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil.
So mga around 6 siguro. We'll be able to fill 6 more cupcake lining. So that's our 7th cupcake. We need our spatula. So we're just a little bit nearing our 350 degrees by several Fahrenheit. So that's around 5 more or 10 more Fahrenheits. So it's time to put in our first batch. As I mentioned before, I only put 1 tray at a time.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil.
So we're going to bake it at 25 minutes. So we'll return all the linings that we were not able to use. So that's 12 plus 6, that's 18, 19. So we were able to make 20 pieces of banana cupcake. first batch is already done. Hey! So the total baking time is at 30 minutes. So for our second batch.
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de
So to check if your cupcake is already done, you have to insert a cake tester in the middle, just like that. And then if you take it out, there should be no butter sticking to the cake tester. That means our cupcake is already done.
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil.
So our baking time for the last batch is actually just around 25 minutes. So the baking time will actually differ depending on the number of or the amount of pastries that you are baking. It will tend to shorten if you are cooking less in amount as compared to if you had a full batch of the cupcakes. So I'm actually drinking coffee and at the same time drinking water so that I do not get dehydrated. Because it's really hot. So we were able to finish around, so this is around 12 plus 8, so 20 pieces of muffins. So we have one extra muffin liner. So that's it. That's our banana cupcakes. So we'll also try, that's why I made my coffee earlier. Let's try our cupcake. Laki naman. Siyempre, I like the newly cooked one. So I actually set the timer at 30. So let us taste our cupcake. Woohoo! Painit. So this is how it looks like. Napaka-simple. Hey! So, this is how our cupcake looks like. Yan. So, moist siya. See? Medyo mainit pa siya. So, that's actually the best time to taste your cupcake is right after it bakes because the consistency is soft and hot and basta, it's good. Mm. Super good. I used to sell this before as my sideline. I used to pack it in 12. So a box of 12 would cost 120 pesos. And especially during Christmas season, I had so many orders. But I'm unable to do that now. That's why I'm just vlogging instead of selling. Mm, it's really good. I used to sell this for 10 pesos a piece, but that is without the walnuts and the semi-sweet chocolate chip because the cost gets higher as you add more ingredients. So I would only bake banana cupcakes with walnuts and chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip um, if I am serving it in the house. So it's not commercialized. Otherwise, the cost would increase as you add more ingredients. So that's it. That's the end of my vlog. I hope to see you in my next vlog. Bye!
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la.
Watch out for my next vlog. I am cooking. No, I'm baking carrot cake and decorating it as well. So this is my coffee. This is the quarter flavor of Nespresso. So as you see, I just added water because it's quite strong. I needed this to keep me up. It's already around, what time is it? Past 9? It's 12:14. Past midnight. Okay, bye-bye. So if you're still here, hats off to you. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next vlogs. Bye!